First opponent up is Chad the Lumberjack. This dude is an absolute beast. He's a recreational powerlifter, BJJ White Belt. He does a bit of wrestling. All around, he's just a good dude. Goes for some sort of outside leg trip, which allows me to get to his back. After slipping his leg to the inside, it allows me to get a very lazy single leg takedown, which basically just forces Chad to trip over. Once we hit the deck, you can see that Chad leaves a lot of space in his turtle position on his right and left hand side, which enables me to get a very easy seatbelt, slip both my hooks in, and take back control. Spend a while in this position with me fighting for a choke, but eventually I try and show off for the camera and go for Chad's arm. Now, spoiler alert, this completely fails because you can see very clearly here that my legs are fucking wide open and I have absolutely no control over Chad's shoulder or his arm. Fortunately though, from this position, after Chad slips one of my legs down between his legs, he ends up in a sort of seated cradle position and I'm able to retake back control and we end up basically where we started. After spending a couple of minutes in this position, I finally get the choke and we reset. Chad comes out of the gate strong, wanting to show me who's the boss on the feet, and he shoots in for a single leg attempt. Fortunately for me though, I'm able to prevent his single leg by sprawling out just long enough so I can grab a chin strap with my right arm, shoot in for that underhook, and just big dog the big dog down to the mat. This allows me to go from side control to mount, and eventually I take Chad's back and we end up similar story to the first round of the roll. Next roll was with Big Chris, who's a super heavyweight wrestler and a BJJ blue belt. I spent 99.9% of this roll getting absolutely mauled, but the potential moment of glory for myself was this sloppy kipping escape from mount, as you can see, but I end up just floundering around trying to take his heel. Chris said something to me here, I can't remember quite what it was, made me sort of hesitate and stop. I probably wasn't going to get the sub anyway, and then I end up very quickly in the exact same position as where I started, getting absolutely mauled by Chris again. So yeah. Next up is Jonas, who starts by immediately pulling guard and starts to work up his legs to attack my arm. I use this opportunity and with a bit of cheating by grabbing his pants, I'm able to pass his shins and end up operating between his knee and his hip and go for a pressure pass. An explosive bridge by Jonas enables me to slide into mount, where I try to isolate his arm and walk it up for a head and arm choke. Jonas bridges once again, but I've tried to take his back here, but I'm unable to, and he quickly recovers guard, and I soon find myself in Jonas's Z guard, which I certainly don't want. The reason I'm flapping around my left arm is to try and prevent Jonas from cranking a Kimura, because he was hunting for that Kimura grip. But after a bit of a scramble and his triangle attempt, I'm able to regain my pressure passing attempt and look to pass back to side control. After using my pressure passing to get back to side control, my idea here was to use some sort of floating knee to pummel back into a mount position. I'm able to get the mount, but as you'll quickly see, Jonas explosively bridges once again, but I'm unable to capitalize and take his back. I end up falling off and ending up in close guard on the bottom. Now Jonas has an opportunity to show me who the better guard passer is, and he absolutely carves through my lazy shin on shin open guard here and forces me to go to turtle. I can feel Jonas start to move his position around to north-south, and he has that front headlock position, so I try to stand up and posture up out of it, but it just results in Jonas jumping on this nice guillotine attempt. Fortunately for me, the grip wasn't quite there, so I'm able to slide my head out and survive. Being as flexible and agile as he is, Jonas is able to lock up a body triangle from the bottom. So I decide to pick up my friend Jonas and take him on an evening stroll to the center of the mat. Jonas eventually decides to ditch his body triangle here, and I immediately go for the collar tie. My idea was to snap him down, and after he postures up is to shoot a double leg. But as you'll see here, I kind of shoot the double leg as he pulls guard at a similar sort of time, and we end up in Jonas's favorite position, being close guard on the bottom, where he can start to work up his legs and hunt for triangles. I absolutely didn't want a bar of it, so I go for this straight arm close guard pass, seize the opportunity in the scramble to pass to north-south. A quick glance at the clock told me I had mere seconds, so I start to hunt for this Kimura attempt. But as you can see, my right leg, I wasn't posted on my foot. I stayed on my knee, enabled myself to get lazily swept, and I completely lost the submission, and that ended the round.